Morning, folks. Glitter. What do I know about glitter? Absolutely nothing. The glitter mystery. Somehow glitter has never touched my world. I did hear about this story in the news, and it's kind of cool.
Okay, this is kind of a shiny, smelly revenge. Have you seen this video on the internet? A former NASA engineer shows us how he surprised some porch pirates. He built that glitter bomb that included a really unpleasant smell, too.
It might not be something you want to try here in Texas. Brandy's here to explain. Hi, Brandy.
Hey guys, this is Mark Rober. He's a former NASA engineer and he was sick of people stealing his packages. So what he built looked like a normal box, but you can see inside of it had triggers, and when it went off, it doused the thief with glitter and a pretty nasty smell. He posted the whole video on YouTube and social media ate it up. Christine says, "This is the best engineered revenge I have ever seen, and I love it." She says, "Get them all."
So it turns out glitter is a thing. Well, the New York Times did an article all about glitter. What is glitter? A strange journey to the glitter factory. One of the companies invited the reporter down and answered questions. The reporter writes about its manufacturing process, and they ask the director of the company, "Who is your biggest customer?" And they said, "Haha, that's really interesting. We sell tons of glitter." When I asked Miss Dyer if she could tell me which industry served as GlitterX's biggest market, her answer was instant: no, I absolutely know that I can't. The reporter said, "Is it secret? Is it kind of confidential? Would it affect national security?" And they went, no. But there is one customer we sell a lot of glitter to, and we'd prefer not to tell you. And that was in the newspaper. Supposedly, and this somehow has passed me by, that mystery, the glitter mystery, has become a thing. On the site Reddit, people started trying to answer the question to the glitter mystery. The theories are fantastic. One of the best is that it's being bought by people who have sand on their beaches, like maybe in Florida. They'll add tons of glittery particles to the sand at the beach to make the beaches more attractive. That would be a disaster, putting all this plastic stuff in the sand. Anyway, that turns out not to be the real answer. So let's try and answer, what exactly is glitter? And how is it made? It seems a small, specialized industry, but it's also massive. They take plastic metal strips and cut it up using very fine rotating blades. You can make glitter down to an extremely small size. It's actually a type of microplastic. The other thing about glitter is that every single bit of it that's ever been made in the history of the human race still exists. It just doesn't self-destruct. This indestructible property might just be a clue to answer the glitter mystery. Who's buying all the stuff? So last night, this guy wrote to me and said, "I've solved the glitter mystery." Okay. This is who he thinks is buying the stuff in bulk.
Bombings are often difficult to solve, since the perpetrator usually has left the scene, and the evidence goes up in smoke. But there are clues if investigators know what to look for. In this case, a tiny piece of plastic the size of a grain of sand would hold the key to a man's murder. Pimer saw thousands of granules, each the size of a grain of sand, that looked as if they were made of plastic. Under a microscope, each one had 6 layers, each layer a different color: white, blue, white, purple, yellow, and red.
I was absolutely stunned. When I found them, I didn't believe it at first. I went away, I got some coffee, I came back and I looked at them again.
And then he remembered.
Once I looked at them, there was nothing else it could possibly be.
These fragments were tagans. They were put into explosives as an experiment by the ATF, as an aid to investigators.
It was a microscopic chip that they placed inside of the explosives themselves. They're microscopic, but they are color-coded.
At the time, only 1% of all explosives had them.
In addition to having the colors, the chips also had a fluorescent layer on one side and a magnetic layer on the other.
Pimer called the ATF, gave them the color sequence, and he was given the corresponding date shift code.
It's like finding the explosives unexploded and finding the date shift code on the explosive and being able to trace them out. And once you can do that, you can go through the records and see who bought it, or who stored it, or who stole it, or whatever it happens to be.
The order of the colors indicated the code was 8DEO2A146. These meant that the explosives were made by the DuPont Company and were a brand called Tovex 220.
Now, I can't really verify whether this is true, but it's a good theory. And it seems a very great use of a product which I think is pretty useless. And I think if we can put the fiendish indestructible glitter to a good use, that's a good thing. Well done, United States Bomb Data Center, or USBDC. Who would have known that it's all just a glitter bomb? I also have no interest or connection to glitter. To me, it seems like something people use in crafting. If you do a YouTube or internet search, you just get kiddies' toys and some people who use it for makeup. I'm really not a big glitter user. But I have this amazing glitter story which absolutely is true and amuses me. A few years ago, I worked on this film, which has to be one of the biggest box office hits of the documentary genre ever, and that is Yellowstone, Supervolcano. It's become a major hit. I think you can still see it on TV. And this is the story and how it connects to glitter. So we started the film with this incredible place in Nebraska called Ash Fall, where these poor rhinoceroses were found in layers, all covered in ash. And when they looked at the ash was full of little sharp particles like glitter. And the poor rhinoceroses had inhaled them and had died of this terrible disease, which put extra bone growths, and the volcano had killed them. But the mystery was, there is no volcano in Nebraska. Where did the ash come from? And in the film, we revealed that this glittery ash had come all the way from Yellowstone, and that proved how big the volcano was. Plus, it's a special kind of ash that only a supervolcano, a caldera type eruption, could produce. So I'm the film editor. I'm like putting together the story, working with this very senior producer. And I said, hey, It would be fantastic if we went out and bought a big tub of silver glitter against a black drape, and with a light, we filmed it falling in slow motion, and I could put sinister music over it, and we could see how this glittery, sharp stuff killed the animals. He said, oh, that's a good idea, let's go and do it. So he went to the glitter store, the party store somewhere in London, and came out with this tub of silver glitter. And we set it up in the cutting room with a camera and a light, a piece of black drape. And we poured gallons of glitter all over the room. I think it's still there today. Glitter never goes away. It sticks to everything. I'm sure you could still find it in that carpet, in that cutting room. But during the filming, the phone rang. Now, the producer had recently worked on a film about tobacco, and there was something quite litigious about it, and he had been summoned to not only the lawyer's office to discuss the film, but to the head of the BBC, the director general himself. And there was a cab outside waiting for him to take him to see this guy and have this meeting. So the nameless producer, after filming the glitter, jumps in the cab and goes to the meeting. A couple hours later, he comes back, and I said, how did the meeting go? And he went, yeah, it was fine. There isn't a problem with the film. It's all okay. But they asked me this really strange question. They said, why are you covered in glitter? And he was. The poor guy, I mean, it was on his arms, it was embedded in his hands, it was all on his jacket and in his hair and on his face. Glitter is nasty stuff. So it seems more things than gold glitter. The truth is out there.